Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's when he tried biting. I ain't even noticed that till somebody said something. Somebody said he tried to bite me. I ain't know nothing until somebody said that shit after the fight. And look, they talking about it.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Well, it's another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but
Now that's crazy. That's what he do. He get dirty. He know that heat coming.
After the drama in round 9, Roach now says Davis tried to bite his ear in round 6, similar to the famous moment when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield. Roach landed more clean punches and controlled key parts of the fight, which made many people question the final result. Then, Joe Budden added to the controversy by strongly supporting Roach. He said, "I owe that man an apology. He really earned my respect. This was a great fight, the best I've seen against Tank. I think he won. I do too. If they counted the knockdown, he wins." His comments shocked the boxing world. Now, more people believe Roach should have been given the win. Fans and experts are closely watching the fight again, reviewing every moment. Roach's performance showed he's one of the best, and there's growing pressure on Davis to agree to a rematch. Many former boxers, trainers, and analysts agree that Roach deserved better. A lot of them think the knockdown in round 9 should have counted, which could have changed the final result. Sergio Mora, a former world champion and respected boxing analyst, also gave his opinion. He said, "It was a great performance by Roach. Too bad the judges didn't believe him. Not counting that knockdown was terrible." His words reflect what many fans have been saying since the fight ended. Roach fought hard, but the judges' decision didn't match what people saw in the ring. Now, more and more people are calling for a rematch and demanding fairness. Some boxing experts are even asking if this fight will lead to changes in how boxing matches are judged, especially in big fights like this one. Roach's team isn't staying quiet. They're pushing for answers, and the whole boxing world is paying attention. And now, another big voice has spoken, Joe Rogan. Known for his deep knowledge of combat sports, Rogan didn't hold back. He said Roach didn't just win rounds. He scored a knockdown that wasn't counted. His comments have made the controversy even bigger.
Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think
Great fight, but I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal. If you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. Subtract 2, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee.
And then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost maybe.
The boxing world is on fire after the controversial fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Roach claims Davis tried to bite his ear in round 6, similar to the famous Tyson versus Holyfield moment. Many believe Roach landed more clean punches and even scored a knockdown in round 9 that wasn't counted. That moment could have changed the final result. Fans, fighters, and experts are all speaking out. Joe Budden said Roach won the fight and earned his respect. Sergio Mora, a former champ, called it a terrible decision. Joe Rogan also weighed in, saying Roach scored a knockout that was ignored. His comments gave even more support to Roach's case. Now, the boxing world is in an uproar. Many are calling for better judging, saying this might be one of the biggest robberies in recent memory. Roach's stock has never been higher, and fans are rallying behind him. The demand for justice is growing louder, and everyone is watching to see what happens next. To make things even bigger, boxing superstar Canelo Alvarez joined the conversation. He said Davis's actions in the ring were unacceptable and should have led to a disqualification. His words added even more pressure on Davis and the Boxing Commission to respond. The controversy around this fight keeps growing, and many believe changes need to happen, starting with a rematch.
Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my view.
Now, the boxing world is on fire after the controversial fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Roach says Davis tried to bite his ear in round 6, just like the famous moment when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield. Roach also seemed to score a knockdown in round 9, but the referee didn't count it. Many believe that moment could have changed who won the fight. Fans, former fighters, and boxing experts have all spoken out. Joe Budden said Roach won and earned his full respect. Sergio Mora, a former world champ, called it a terrible mistake by the judges. Joe Rogan added that Roach clearly scored a knockout that was ignored. His opinion added more weight to Roach's case. Now, boxing
they were trying
fans
to go
are
off
demanding
of
answers.
what happened in
Many
the
are
past,
calling
and
this
that was
one
the
of
wrong
the
answer.
biggest robberies in recent
Lamont
boxing
acting
history.
like he
Roach's
know he
reputation
won
is rising, and his supporters are growing louder. They want justice, and they want a rematch.
That they wasn't gonna overturn it?
Yeah.
I mean, I expected that. I don't really see them doing that. Tank is too big of an attraction. New York. I felt like for a while I was battling with Las Vegas for the big fights. Big fights are edging back to New York. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia was in New York. Tank was in New York with this one, with Lamont. Tank was also in New York for, was it a Rolly?
Rolly. Wilder, Helenius, New York.
Wilder, Helene. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is New York trying to stay in the mix when it comes to the big fights. So I didn't, and the reason that matters is because they lose out on a lot of big shows if they overturn it. If they keep it a draw, we get to see the draw again in New York. That's what Tank said.
Boxing legend Canelo Alvarez stepped in. He didn't hold back, saying Davis's actions were unacceptable and should have led to a disqualification. Canelo's statement sent shockwaves through the sport. Fans believe that if a star like Canelo is speaking out, something serious must have happened. His voice added even more pressure on Davis and the Boxing Commission to act. Roach's team isn't letting this go. They're fighting for a rematch and officially appealed the decision, pointing out missed calls and referee mistakes. Some fans hoped the appeal might change the outcome, or at least force a rematch, but in a move that upset many, the appeal was rejected. That decision means Davis keeps his undefeated record, and the controversy is still not resolved. Meanwhile, Davis has stayed silent, even as the backlash grows louder. The boxing world is now split, and with big names like Canelo speaking out, the pressure on Davis and the judges has never been higher.
You got to learn from the first fight. You got to learn from the first fight, and you got to bring something different, but at the same time, you still got to be careful. That goes for both sides. You can't pick a winner. The fight was too good. You can't pick a winner. I see where Lamont neutralized Tank, and I see where Tank neutralized Lamont. Somebody gotta go even further. This might be one of them Jones, man. We might see 3 of these.
The boxing world is still buzzing after the controversial fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Roach says Davis tried to bite his ear in round 6, just like when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield. On top of that, Roach appeared to score a knockdown in round 9, but the referee didn't count it. Many believe that mistake could have changed who won the fight. Fans, boxing legends, and experts have spoken up. Joe Budden said Roach clearly won and gained his full respect. Sergio Mora, a former champion, called it a terrible decision. Joe Rogan added that Roach scored a knockdown that was ignored by the officials. His comments added even more weight to Roach's side of the story. Then boxing superstar Canelo Alvarez stepped in, saying Davis's behavior in the ring should have led to a disqualification. Canelo's statement shocked fans and added more pressure on Davis and the
They were trying to go off of
People
what
believe
happened
that
in
if
the
someone
past,
as
and that was the
respected
wrong
as
answer.
Canelo is calling out the injustice,
Lamont acting
something
like
must
he
be
know
done.
he won and
Roach's
stroking
team
his
officially
beard at
appealed
the same
decision,
time.
pointing to missed calls and decisions. Many hoped the appeal would at least force a rematch and change the outcome. But in a move that frustrated fans, the appeal was denied. Davis kept his undefeated record, and the controversy stayed unresolved. Trainer Greg Hackett explained why overturning the result was unlikely. He said big business plays a role in boxing, especially in places like New York, which want to host more major fights. Keeping the result the same makes a rematch more likely, which means more money for the promoters and the city. But while that benefits venues and promoters, it left Roach and his team with no choice but to push harder for a rematch. Now, the focus has completely shifted to making that rematch happen. Roach refuses to let the fight end in controversy. Fans, analysts, and even other fighters are calling for Davis to step up and settle the debate once and for all. The first fight was close and intense, and many believe a second fight would be even bigger, with both fighters having something to prove. The demand is growing fast, and the stage is set for a high-stakes showdown.
Who do you feel like wins the rematch?
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both gonna come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont pulling it off. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, smudge. Like I wasn't mad at the draw. You know, I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes it?
It's hard.
Close, yo.
Because Lamont surprised me a lot. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna say Lamont, man.
Lamont takes it. All right.
Now, the boxing world is still buzzing after the controversial fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Roach claims Davis tried to bite his ear in round 6, just like when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield. He also appeared to score a knockdown in round 9, but the referee didn't count it. Many fans and experts believe that moment could have changed the result of the fight. Big names in the boxing world are speaking out. Joe Budden said Roach clearly won and earned his full respect. Sergio Mora, a former champion, called the judge's decision terrible. Joe Rogan also weighed in, saying Roach scored a knockout that wasn't counted. Then Canelo Alvarez made headlines by saying Davis should have been disqualified for his actions. When someone like Canelo speaks out, people take notice, and the pressure on Davis and the Boxing Commission only grew stronger. Roach's team filed an official appeal, pointing to missed calls and poor refereeing. But the appeal was denied, and Davis kept his undefeated record. Fans were frustrated, feeling like justice was ignored. Trainer Greg Hackett explained why overturning the result was unlikely. He said big business plays a big role in boxing. Cities like New York want to keep hosting big fights, so keeping the result the same helps set up a rematch that brings in more money and attention. Now, with the appeal rejected and controversy still fresh, the spotlight is on a possible rematch. Roach and his team are pushing hard for another fight. They believe the first one didn't give fans a clear winner.
We was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th.
Fans, fighters,
we was
and
talking
boxing
shit,
analysts all
but
agree.
he like,
it's
you
time
ain't
to
gonna
run
win.
it back.
I said, shit, why not?
Trainer Greg
Any of
Hackett
y'all
says
had me
both
getting
fighters
knocked
need to
out
make big changes
to all
if they
this.
meet
I'm
again.
going to go back and look
Roach
at y'all
has to
pages.
come in
I
with a new
promise
game
you.
plan, and
Promise
Davis
you.
has to be careful.
I promise
because
you.
the
I'm
first
so
fight was
glad
too
the
close
fake
to
boxing
call.
media not here
That's
neither.
exactly why a rematch will be Boxer Julian Gonzalez also shared his opinion. He said the fight was extremely close. He leaned toward Roach winning, but understood why it was called a draw. Like many others, he expects both fighters to come back stronger and put on an even better fight. Davis will want to silence the doubters. And Roach is
They were trying
determined
to
to
go
prove
off
he
of
was robbed.
what happened in the
If
past,
the
and
rematch
that was the wrong
happens,
answer.
it could become one of the biggest
Lamont
and most
acting
talked
like
about
he
fights
know
in
he
recent
won
boxing
and
history.
stroking his beard at the
Both
same
fighters
time
now have
is
something to
super
prove.
ironic.
And the whole
A rematch, very exciting though, and I think that's great for Gervonta because other than Shakur, who's the other major
Challenger.
star,
Yeah.
and then Lomachenko if he decides to fight again, but other than that, there's not a lot of compelling
challenges
right.
out there for him.
So now this Lamont Roach fight becomes like the most compelling fight in the division for him.
still buzzing after the controversial fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Roach says Davis tried to bite his ear in round 6, just like when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield. He also looked like he scored a knockdown in round 9, but the referee didn't count it. Many believe that one moment could have changed the entire outcome of the fight. Boxing fans, fighters, and experts are speaking out. Joe Budden said Roach clearly won and earned his respect. Sergio Mora called the judge's decision terrible, and Joe Rogan added that the knockdown should have been counted. Then, boxing superstar Canelo Alvarez stepped in, saying Davis's actions in the ring should have led to a disqualification. When a legend like Canelo speaks up, people listen, and the pressure on Davis and the Boxing Commission grew stronger. Roach's team filed an appeal, hoping to change the result, or at least force a rematch. They pointed to missed calls and poor decisions by the referee, but the appeal was denied, and Davis kept his undefeated record. Trainer Greg Hackett explained why the decision was unlikely to be overturned. He said boxing is big business, and cities like New York want to keep hosting major events. That means promoters and venues often benefit more from setting up a rematch than changing a result. Now, the focus is on getting that rematch. Roach and his team are doing everything they can to make it happen. He's made it clear. He wants another shot.
Scared of him. Yeah. And Lamont was not scared of him. But they have fought in the amateurs before. I think they fought twice in the amateurs. But Lamont's a new star. That guy's super legit. Super legit and very skillful. Like the way it wasn't just that, like, you know, like Gervonta didn't show up or Gervonta wasn't at his best. No, like Lamont fought a fantastic fight. You know what I'm excited for, man? Terrence Crawford and Canelo. That's
gonna be a big one.
That's the one.
That's a big, huge fight.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah,
a lot of people think Terrence is too small. He weighed himself the other day. He was 185 pounds.
Fans are standing behind him, saying he deserves a fair chance to get a clean win. With the controversy still fresh, the rematch is being seen as the only way to settle the score. Greg Hackett also said both fighters need to make smart changes. Roach must come in with a better game plan, and Davis can't take any chances. The first fight was too close to call, and that's why a second fight could be even bigger. Boxer Julian Gonzalez agreed, saying the first fight was very close. He leaned toward Roach winning, but wasn't upset with the draw. Like many others, he expects both fighters to come back stronger and deliver another war in the ring. Davis wants to silence the doubters, while Roach is determined to prove he was robbed. More voices in boxing are now pushing Davis to accept the rematch. Joe Rogan called it one of the most exciting fights in the division. He said that aside from top names like Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko, there aren't many big matchups left for Davis. That makes a rematch with Roach even more important, not just for Roach, but for Davis too. Running it back would settle the debate once and for all and bring huge attention to both fighters. With both men having something to prove, the boxing world is getting ready for what could be one of the most anticipated fights of the year.
Favor taking a rematch, to be honest.
Tell me why.
I think he'll stop him in the rematch, too.
Tell me why.
I think he'll stop him. I mean, well, I just feel like
your boy Shock said that they were sparring over there. That the round two, the next fight, we're gonna get like what we expected. Did you feel any of that?
That's what I feel, bro. I feel like the next fight, I feel like I think Tank will put him on the next fight. Now it's all rumors and stuff. Of course, we don't know if it's true, but I mean, I heard that Tank was going through a lot of stuff, bro. We all know, bro. Like, well, I know, but a lot of people, I mean, as a fighter, bro, it's more mental than anything. When you got a lot of stuff mentally going on, bro, like